Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is lecture series 16, Network Security, User Authentication Protocol. Come, let's go into the video. Please do like, share, subscribe and comment. So what is User Authentication Protocol? So it comes under SSH. So here the User Authentication Protocol, it is going to provide by means by which the client is authenticating the server. So when there is a client and the server model, how the client is authenticated to the server. That is how your authentication protocol is going to provide. Now your user authentication protocol is divided into three types. It is actually not divided into three types. It consists of three formats, that is message types and formats, message exchange and authentication method. So moving on to the message types and formats. So from client format and server format, you have these types of message types and format. So here the three types of messages, they are always used in this user authentication protocol. Now this is client format. You can see a message SSS, message user authentication request. So this is from your client. Client is requesting an authentication from the server. So that will be in form of bytes. Then username, what type of service it should provide, what is the method, all those must be specified in string format. So here the username is nothing but it is the authorization identity. Okay, so the client will be claiming or asking for the authorization identity. Service name is nothing but it is the facility to which the client is requesting the access. That is when you are using SSH connection protocol. Method name is nothing but it is the authentication method that is being used or requested by the client. Yes, so moving on to the server format, you have SSH message user authentication failure. So this failure success may be the authentication that is replied back by the server to the client. And here you have some name list, that is nothing but authentication that can continue, and Boolean expressions will be given for your partial success. So it is going to send a single byte of message, whether it is success or failure. Moving on to the next format, that is the message exchange. So here you can see there are different messages like user authentication request, user authentication failure, again an user authentication failure. So we are going to see in step what it is actually. So here the client will first send this message, user authentication request. So with a requested method of none, like it may be any method, that message will be sent by the client. Then what happens is the server will keep checking to determine if the username is valid or not. If suppose the username is not valid, what happens is the server will return the SSS message user authentication failure, telling that it is partially success. Yes, if the username is suppose valid, then it will be proceeding to the next step, that is SSH message user authentication failure. That is, it is going to return this message with a list of one or more authentication methods. Then fourth one, the SSH message user authentication request. Here the client selects one of the acceptable authentication method and then sends this message with the method name and the sequence of fields. Then if the authentication succeeds and more authentication methods are actually required, then the server will proceed to the third step using the partial success, and then it keeps continuing for a successful establishment. When all these required authentication method is succeeded, then the server will send this message and the authentication protocol is completely over here. Yes, moving on to the next format, authentication method. These are the three things that is used. Public key. What is public key? The detail of all the methods will be depending upon this public key algorithm that is being chosen. So the client will be sending a message to the server which consists of the client's public key. So client's public key and server's public key should match. Next is password. So the client sends a message which consists of a plain text password which is completely protected by the encryption in transport layer protocol. Such kind is called as password. Host based. Host based is nothing but the authentication will be performed on the client's host rather than the client itself. Client itself doesn't do, it is done in the client's host. So the host that is supporting multiple clients would provide complete authentication for all its client in that particular hub. The same way will be done in the server side also. So this is another one authentication method. So hope you have understood the small tips. Please be stay tuned for more information. Thank you.